Guys, what's going on? Hello and welcome to Cereal at Midnight. My name is Heath, and in this episode, the stash has arrived. Magnum P.I, the complete series on Blu-ray from Mill Creek Entertainment. This is a gorgeous 30-disc Blu-ray box set collecting all 8 seasons, carrying over special features from the DVD box set, new special features from Ballyhoo Motion Pictures. Why do I have the Rockford Files over here? Because it ties into the special features. This represents, I believe, the most ambitious, the highest prestige TV on Blu-ray release that Mill Creek has put out to date. We've talked a lot about their TV on Blu-ray. Knight Rider, Airwolf, Quantum Leap. 30 Rock was the gold standard until now. I think this even surpasses 30 Rock. Just the sheer number of discs, the number of seasons, the extras. It's an amazing release, and how does it look on Blu-ray? It looks great. It's a huge upgrade over the DVDs. Just for fun, I was like, what are these DVDs? Or yeah, what do the DVDs look like? You know, how do they compare? So I popped in one of my old DVDs. It's clocking in at like 6 megabytes per second, and it looks like a early DVD release. It doesn't hold a candle to the Blu-ray. So I pop in the Blu-rays. They're pulling down an average of between 20 and 25 megabytes per second, depending on the episode and depending on the disc, because we'll talk about that, the distribution of the episodes per disc. Some of these discs have more on them than others. But 20 to 25 megabytes per second. I topped out at 31 megabytes per second, low end 16, something like that, but average 20 to 25. Looks great. Beautiful, healthy grain structure. Universal takes such good care of their masters. I was just raving about their release of The Incredible Hulk, the complete series of that. That's Universal. They take such good care of their stuff. Their catalog titles have always been a cut above. So let's talk about what we have here, because there's a lot to discuss. First of all, check that out. It's a nice little, I don't know, it's probably not an Easter egg, but it's a nice little touch. We have 3 individual clamshell cases here that house the discs. And yeah, check it out. We have a mural on this side, but wait, there's also a mural on the reverse side as well. Let me try to do justice to this. Look at that. They all line up to form an awesome Magnum mural. So let's start with just the first set here, the first case. This is the first 3 seasons. Season 3 continues in this, seasons 3 through 5. But we're dealing with everything having its own dedicated tray, hub, and spindle. Nothing is stacked, which is, this just feels like, Mill Creek shooting for the moon. It's like all the standards are here. Now, here's the thing that kind of, I was like, I saw this. So we've got 5 episodes on the first disc here, plus 2-part. So episodes that were a 2-hour time slot, feature length, 2-hour, hour and a half time slots. Those are presented in their 2-part versions. So the pilot is 2 parts, right? LA was that season 7 premiere. The 2-part episodes they're 2 parts. They're not in the movie form. But so we've got on this disc, we got 5 episodes, 4 episodes here. But the thing is that I was a little thrown by is there are the 2 bonus episodes of the Rockford Files that feature. I'm going to get my Rockford Files set out here for some high quality reporting. Tom Selleck was in 2 episodes of the Rockford Files, not as Magnum P.I, but as another character, Lance. I can't remember his last name. But he's sort of a precursor to Magnum P.I. And those episodes where Magnum P.I, where Tom Selleck appears on the Rockford Files are included as bonus episodes. So one, that's great that those are bonus. We have 90 minutes of Rockford Files here in addition to the Magnum P.I episodes. But that does mean that we now have 7 episodes on this first season disc. And I was really concerned about that because I was like, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. So I'm worried about compression, right? You want the maximum bit rate. You want everything to be able to breathe. So I'm happy to report there's no quality degradation between that disc and any of the other discs. The Magnum episodes are pulling in 20 to 25 megabytes per second. Again, highs ranging even higher than that towards the 30 megabytes per second. and sometimes they'll dip down into the teens, but they're consistent throughout. I've checked about 10 discs, have not checked all 30, but I've checked about 10 discs, and they really are consistently in that they look great. And again, beautiful colors, crisp, great grain. I'm so happy that the grain wasn't stripped out of this. That makes me so happy. But the Rockford Files episodes do not look as good as the Magnum episodes. I will say that for the lack of quality of the Rockford Files episodes here, I think it's the same transfer, but if you have the actual Rockford Files Blu-ray box set, also from Mill Creek Entertainment, they're a much healthier megabyte per second rate, a much healthier bit rate on the actual Rockford Files set. Again, 20, 25, about 20, averaging about 20 megabytes per second, whereas here, averaging 10 to 15. But you're not buying this for Rockford Files episodes, right? That's just a bonus. You're buying this for Magnum P.I. and that sweet mustache. So here's what we've got. We've got a lot of stuff carried over. Most of the special features outside of those Rockford Files episodes are towards the tail end of the last set here, the season 6, 7, and 8. There's a Murder, She Wrote crossover in season 7, I believe. Let me double check that really quick. Novel Connection. Right, that's the Magnum P.I. Murder, She Wrote That's part 1 of the Murder, She Wrote crossover. So on the DVD set, the Murder, She Wrote part was included. Magnum on Ice, the Murder, She Wrote episode. That's part of the DVD set. I do not see it here in the Blu-ray set. So be advised. And maybe it's here and I don't see it. Maybe it's on one of the 20 discs that I haven't checked yet. But it's not on the disc with the part 1. So... But it's not a Magnum P.I. episode, so we can't expect it to be here. It just would have been nice. Let's talk about bonus features, you guys. So there are new bonus features and legacy bonus features. So legacy, we've got the Great 80s TV Flashback. That popped up on a lot of Universal sets. That's here as well. It's about 30 minutes, and it's produced by Universal for their DVD releases at the time, and they're talking about Miami Vice. Oh, another great Mill Creek TV on Blu-ray set. Talking about Miami Vice, they're talking about all the stuff that I think that Knight Rider is one of them as well. Celebrating the 80s, now on DVD, right? That's the kind of thing. So that's standard definition, but it's been carried over. Inside the Ultimate Crime crossover, I think it's 6 minutes about the Murder, She Wrote crossover, of which we have, I think, half here. Not we have the first half. America's Top Sleuths, that's another Universal feature that I believe was produced for the DVDs, also on the DVDs. And it's talking about the crime aspect of Universal TV on DVD, of which Magnum P.I. fits. Magnum P.I. is such a great show. I haven't even talked about the show because I think most of us know, but it's smart, it's funny, it's irreverent. Tom Selleck was super cool in those. He's still super cool. But I'm gonna make a reverse mortgage joke, but. You've seen the commercials that come on cable, like the antenna channels. It's I wouldn't sell you a reverse mortgage if I didn't believe in it. Thanks, Tom Selleck. But the cool associated with Magnum P.I., that mustache, the Hawaiian shirts, the Hawaiian settings. By the way, if you're a Hawaii Five-0 fan, watch for the Hawaii Five-0 references in Magnum P.I. because there's a lot. He references McGarrett in the first episode, and he's constantly talking about the 5-0. And you're like, well, maybe that's a coincidence, but McGarrett and the 5-0, I don't think so. That's not a coincidence. And it's not to be discounted either that Hawaii Five-0 ended in 1980 and Magnum P.I. started in 1980, filming in the same locations, Hawaii. So I think it was sort of like a spiritual passing of the torch. And it's like in Disney when they refurbish a ride, but they leave traces of the old ride behind, for those that know. I think that's what they did with Magnum P.I. But excellent show. He was super cool. He was vulnerable. He was the nice guy, almost Indiana Jones. Could do a whole episode just about Tom Selleck. But let's talk about the new special features. So we've got new bonus features by Ballyhoo Motion Pictures. Daniel Griffith, Ballyhoo. We've got roughly, these are about 10 minutes each. Some of them are 12. Interview with the writer, producer, director Ruben Leader. Interview with writer, producer Chris Abbott. Interview with actress, writer Deborah Pratt. And then we switch over to season 8, disc 1. By the way, 6 episodes on this disc and 7 episodes on the final disc. But again, bit rate's pretty consistent throughout. 20, 25, going up even higher. Interview with composer Mike Post. Dun, 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 dun. That wonderful, iconic theme song. Daniel Griffith talked to the composer about that. Director Virgil Vogel featurette. That features my friend C. Courtney Joyner talking about the director, Virgil Vogel, who is kind of a through line for some of these episodes. Great stuff. That's about 7 minutes. We've got carrying over a commentary with writer Jay Hughley, and then 2 commentaries on the last disc. So you got, I think, 5 new features running, close to an hour, and then carrying over the others. I don't think that there's anything that's been left on the table beside. Let's see. This has the great 80s flashback, great 80s TV flashback, the Murder, She Wrote episode, which that's been left off from what I can tell. If you have any information that's different, let me know. Inside the Ultimate Crime crossover, that's carried over. America's Top Sleuths, that's carried over. Commentaries carried over. So if unless you're a massive Murder, She Wrote fan, there's no question here whatsoever for you. It is a beautiful, beautiful box set. I am so happy with what I've seen so far. And if I see anything that changes my opinion on this, I will absolutely let you know. But as it stands right now, as of this review, this is one of the best releases of the year so far. If you love 80s culture, if you love television history, if you love the Blu-ray packaging of classic television, if you're a retro pop culture fan, this is probably a must for you. This is pretty fantastic. And the price right now, I believe it's still in pre-order phase as I'm making this video. It comes out in a little bit less than 2 weeks. If you're watching this in 2026, it doesn't matter. But it's about $120 as of the recording of this video, which is very solid for 8 seasons in HD with brand new special features. So that is my honest opinion, you guys. It is absolutely beautiful. Universal, great transfers. Mill Creek has given it their top flight, first class presentation. And I think it is the new standard for TV on Blu-ray from Mill Creek Entertainment. And I want to know what you guys think about it. What do you think about Magnum P.I? We can continue the conversation in the comments below. Guys, head over to our Patreon page. Check out our Patreon page. We are viewer supported. And anything that you can do to help us would be much appreciated. In return for that, we've got over 100 videos just for you. Collection tours, the Collecting at Midnight series, some exclusive audio commentaries for movies over there. And it's a very, very active Patreon. We all know the Patreon pages and the Patreon campaigns that they're just kind of there. This one's very active. So anything you can do to help us would be so much appreciated and make this show happen each and every day. Guys, Magnum P.I. It's a great one. I'm going to watch some Magnum. Thank you so much. Take care. Until next time, I will catch you later.